Welcome back to the Money Podcast Show. I'm Matt.
And I'm Betty.
Great to have you with us. Before we dive in today, Betty, have you ever scrolled through Instagram or whatever, seen someone's amazing life?
Oh, yeah.
You know, the fancy car, the holidays, the perfect house, and just thought, seriously, how do they actually afford all that?
It's such a curated image, isn't it? And it looks so convincing. But the reality, which is kind of what we're digging into today from our sources, is often so different.
Right.
Behind that glossy picture, you find people maybe decades into their careers earning good money, but with zero savings, still drowning in credit card debt. It's surprisingly common. A bit of a silent struggle, really.
Exactly. Have you ever looked at your bank account maybe mid-month and just thought, hang on, where did it all go? It was just here.
Oh, absolutely. All the time. It's like money has this magic vanishing act, and you're always left wondering, how did I miss the trick? It's kind of wild when you think that, a surprising number of people, even folks earning really high six-figure incomes, still feel like they're just running on that financial treadmill. Paycheck to paycheck.
It is genuinely surprising, isn't it? You'd sort of assume more income automatically means more security, but yeah, as we often see, that's just not always how it plays out. It's a really powerful reminder that just income by itself doesn't guarantee financial peace.
Yeah, exactly. And last time in episode 3, we really tried to zero in on that critical difference, the one between needs and wants. We talked about how easily marketing can blur those lines, making you feel like that shiny new gadget is an absolute necessity when, well, deep down, it's really just something you desire.
The marketing magic.
Right. We explored those subtle ways companies convince us that aspirational buys are somehow non-negotiable needs.
And that pause test we discussed. Seriously, it's such a game changer for instant savings. Just that little moment of reflection before you click buy, asking yourself, okay, is this really a need or is it just a want? That can make all the difference.
Yeah, it forces you to be intentional.
Which is incredibly powerful.
Okay, so if we're getting better, hopefully, at telling our true needs apart from our, seemingly endless wants, why do so many of us still feel like we're constantly chasing our tails financially? It's a real puzzle.
Yeah.
So today, we're doing a deep dive into what I honestly believe is the ultimate money management skill. It's like the bedrock of financial freedom, living within your means.
Yes. It sounds so deceptively simple, doesn't it? Just, spend less than you make. Easy. But then real life hits you with all its unexpected twists and, frankly, tempting turns, and suddenly that simple idea feels like this monumental challenge. It's often way harder in practice than it sounds in theory.
You've hit on something really crucial there. Living within your means isn't just like a nice idea or some kind of financial luxury. It is absolutely essential for genuine financial literacy and ultimately independence.
Right.
In fact, I'd go so far as to say, if you ever hope to achieve real financial freedom, this isn't optional. It's completely foundational.
And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. We all probably know someone who seems to have it all figured out, right? The latest gadgets, those amazing luxury holidays every year, maybe a really posh car.
That image.
Yeah, they look like they're living the dream. But often, maybe, it's all built on a house of cards. It's entirely on credit. I mean, I've seen so many examples of people who've had these great holidays year after year for decades, only to find themselves maybe 20 or 30 years into earning a good income with basically no accumulated assets, no real savings to speak of, and they're still paying off credit cards from years ago. It's just such a stark reminder that appearances can be really deceiving. True wealth isn't always what you see on the surface.
That's a really powerful illustration, because the fundamental rule for living within your means is, on paper, incredibly simple. Your outgo must be less than your income. Simple. You have to spend less than you earn every single month. It sounds so straightforward, but like you said, with the constant temptation to spend everywhere you look and the very real high cost of just covering your actual financial needs, it can feel like you're swimming upstream sometimes.
It does raise that big question, though.
Yeah.
Why does something so fundamental feel so incredibly hard to actually do consistently? I mean, if we connect this to the bigger picture, sure, mastering this skill is just good money management. But the reason it's tough isn't only about willpower, right?
Right.
We're constantly battling things like lifestyle creep,
Yeah.
where our expenses just subtly rise right along with our income.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's hedonic adaptation, where the thrill of buying something new fades super quickly, leaving us wanting more, always chasing that next little high.
The next hit.
Exactly. Add to that the constant influence of social comparison, seeing what others have and feeling that pressure, plus relentless targeted marketing.
Oh.
Well, you can see why it's a huge psychological and practical challenge for so many people.
That explanation really hits home. It's not just a budget problem, it's a human behavior problem.
Okay, let's try a simple visual maybe to break it down. Think about money management like two boxes. Imagine one box is for Outgo.
Okay.
That's all your expenses, everything leaving your wallet or bank account. And then there's another box for income. That's everything you earn, every penny coming in.
Okay, got it. Picturing it. Simple enough, but I already feel a little bit of dread thinking about how big that Outgo box feels sometimes.
Right, exactly. Now, if your income box and your Outgo box are exactly the same size, well, that means you're just living within your means. You're basically breaking even, treading water, financially speaking.
And if the Outgo box is bigger than the income box, then you are definitely not living within your means.
In fact, you're quickly moving into debt. And that's the scary part, isn't it? Because it creates this negative feedback loop that's just incredibly hard to escape from. Every month you spend more than you earn, that debt just grows, eating into your future income.
Precisely. But here's the goal, the sweet spot. If the income box is bigger than the Outgo box, well done. Pat yourself on the back. You are living within your means, and crucially, you'll have some money left over to save.
The surplus.
Yes. That extra money isn't just a number sitting there, it's your personal freedom fund. It's the buffer that absorbs unexpected shocks, it's the fuel for your long-term goals, and honestly, it's the antidote to financial stress. This surplus is where real financial independence actually starts to take shape. We'll definitely talk more about savings and financial independence in future deep dives, but just getting to that surplus, that's the first huge step.
Unfortunately, it does often seem like there are way more costs piling into that Outgo box than there are deposits going into the income box in the modern world. It feels like a constant battle against rising costs and new temptations.
It does.
But look, we will definitely address how to potentially increase income and decrease costs in later deep dives. Don't worry. This is really just about learning a core life skill, one that will fundamentally change your financial path, hopefully bringing you more peace and opportunity.
So the big question, how do we consistently get that income box to outweigh the Outgo? It takes a bit of a shift in mindset and some practical strategies. We've actually got 10 actionable tips for living within your means, and we want to break them down with some real-world context, because these aren't just abstract ideas, they're smart habits that can make a really tangible difference.
Okay, I love it. Practical tips. Let's dive in. These are the tools that help build that bigger income box, right?
Exactly. Okay, first tip. You need to know exactly what your true financial needs are each month and how much they actually cost. This isn't just a vague idea. This is money that must be paid. It comes out of that income box before anything else. Think rent, essential groceries, utilities. It's all about clarity and prioritization.
Yeah, and this is where our needs versus wants deep dive from last time really comes in handy, doesn't it? If you don't know your absolute non-negotiable expenses, if you can't tell the difference between your must-haves and your nice-to-haves, you're basically flying blind.
Totally.
And your money will just disappear into that want category before your actual needs are even met.
Tip number 2, every time you feel a want coming on, challenge yourself. Try not to buy it. Just don't. Seriously. This isn't about depriving yourself. It's about being intentional with your choices.
Ooh, that's a tough one for a lot of people. We're so conditioned for immediate gratification these days. But think about the opportunity cost of that impulsive want. What else could that money be doing for you? I'd actually love to hear from our listeners on this. What's been your biggest impulse by regret? Share your stories with us online. We're all in this together. And sometimes learning from each other's experiences is the best teacher.
Great idea. Okay, third tip. Do you really need to buy all the latest fashions and accessories? Could you maybe skip out on some or even consider buying some secondhand? I mean, seriously, do you really need those brand new sneakers, or will last year's pair still do the job perfectly well and save you a decent chunk of change?
It's really interesting when you stop and think how much money you can save just by being a little bit less tied to immediate trends and, frankly, social pressures. Fast fashion, constantly upgrading your techs. These are huge drivers of that Outgo box getting bigger and bigger. Sometimes, the most stylish choice is actually the one that lasts and doesn't break the bank.
Couldn't agree more. Tip 4. Always try to find deals, offers, and discounts on things you do actually need to buy. That way, you get more for your money, you spend less overall. A little bit of smart shopping, a quick search for a coupon code online, or just waiting for a sale can go a surprisingly long way.
It really, really does. Why pay full price if you don't absolutely have to? This isn't about being cheap, it's about being smart and, honestly, respecting your hard-earned money. Every single dollar you save on a necessary purchase is a dollar you can put towards your goals instead.
Tip 5, and this is a big one for daily spending. Bring lunch to school, college, or work. It is far, far cheaper than eating in the canteen or a cafe or a restaurant every single day. The numbers on this one, when you add them up, are kind of staggering.
Oh, my wallet can absolutely confirm this after just 1 week of cafe visits. Seriously, though, packing lunch is one of the quickest wins you can possibly make. Think about it. That $15 daily lunch habit, that's $75 a week. That's $300 a month. Over a year, that's $3,600.
Wow, yeah.
Right. $3,600 could be a significant chunk of your emergency fund. It could be a fantastic vacation or even a down payment on something substantial. It's not just lunch, it's significant discretionary income you're choosing to spend.
That's a really powerful way to reframe it. It's those seemingly small daily habits that are often the most insidious financially, aren't they?
Totally.
Which brings us neatly to tip number 6. Do you really need that fancy coffee and maybe a cake every single day? Try to make it a treat, not the norm. That daily indulgence can be a really significant drain over time.
Absolutely. They just sneak up on you because they feel so insignificant in isolation. But over a month or a year, they become these monumental budget black holes. Breaking that daily habit, it requires conscious effort, a disruption. Maybe you start by packing your own fancy coffee one day a week, or maybe you meet friends for a walk instead of hitting the cafe. It's about finding healthier, less expensive alternatives that still meet your underlying need, maybe for a break or a social connection, without completely emptying your wallet.
7th tip. Check you are on the correct phone tariff and package for what you actually use. If you don't need, say, 5,000 texts per month, don't pay for them. It's pretty surprising how many people are overpaying for services they don't even use, often just out of, inertia.
It's incredible, isn't it? And it raises an interesting question. Why are we often so loyal to contracts we're not fully utilizing? I think it's often a combination of things, maybe the sunk cost fallacy, feeling like you've already invested, so you should just stick with it, and maybe just plain old inertia. Honestly, a quick review of your phone, your internet, even your insurance plans can often reveal hundreds in potential annual savings.
Tip 8. Are there any gym memberships or maybe regular hair and nail salon appointments that you don't really need or, let's be honest, aren't actually using? If so, cancel them. Don't fall victim to that kind of aspirational spending where you pay for the person you wish you were rather than who you actually are right now.
Oh, the ghost gym membership. We've all been there, right?
Yeah.
Paying for something you rarely or never use is literally just throwing money away.
Yeah.
It's such a prime example of aspirational spending. You intend to go, you intend to get your nails done regularly, but if it's just not happening, that money is far better off in your pocket, maybe building up that freedom fund we talked about.
Yeah.
You have to be honest with yourself about what you truly use and what you truly value.
9th tip, and this is a modern one. Do you need all of the TV packages streaming at the same time? Like if you have Netflix and Amazon Prime Video and BritBox and Apple TV plus Siri and Now TV and Sports TV and movie channels plus all the regular channels, well, you either have way too much time on your hands to watch it all or you are almost certainly wasting money somewhere in that mix.
So true.
Only pay for what you can actually realistically use.
That's another form of that lifestyle creep, isn't it? Where 1 or 2 subscriptions feel totally fine, but then you add another and then another. If you're only watching 1 or 2 shows on a specific service, why pay for the whole subscription month after month? You could cycle through them, subscribe for a month or 2, watch what you want, then cancel, and maybe resubscribe later if something new comes up.
Yeah.
It's a really simple hack that can save quite a bit.
Definitely. And the 10th, and maybe the most important tip of all, which also nicely teases our next deep dive, Prepare a budget and actually stick to it. That's the roadmap. That's what makes all these other tips work together effectively.
Okay, but I know what many listeners might be thinking right now. It's that feeling of, but living within your means just sounds so boring. It sounds like deprivation, like you're just constantly saying no to yourself and missing out on everything fun.
Yeah, that's a super common perception, isn't it? But honestly, it couldn't be further from the truth, in my opinion. Living within your means absolutely does not mean depriving yourself of a good time or, a few little luxuries here and there. In fact, I'd argue it's the opposite.
Exactly. If you think about the bigger picture here, by increasing your financial literacy and your skills, improving how you shop, how you spend, how you save, you'll actually find you can do most of the things other people are doing. You can still enjoy life to the full, but without any of that FOMO, the fear of missing out.
Right.
It's actually incredibly empowering when you think about it. Imagine planning a vacation and actually being able to save for it properly instead of just sticking it on a credit card that then haunts you for months afterwards. That's the opposite of boring. That's exhilarating.
No more post-holiday financial hangover, right? And you can still go to the mall with friends. Just be mindful. You don't need to buy 3 coffees and that giant slice of millionaire shortbread just out of boredom or social pressure. You can still participate in social activities, just maybe with a clearer head and an intentional plan for your spending.
That's the real game changer, I think. We're definitely not saying don't buy any luxuries. We're suggesting you maybe don't buy too many luxuries. And crucially, when you do decide on something you really want, you make a conscious plan to save for it.
Yeah, the planning part.
Don't just snap it up on impulse, or worse, put it on a credit card and end up paying interest on it for months and months. That deliberate saving process actually makes the luxury feel even more rewarding when you finally get it, doesn't it?
It really does. Actually, I've got a personal strategy that truly shifted my own perspective on spending way back, and I think it might offer a clear path for some listeners. When I was younger, much younger, I used to figure out exactly how much money I would have left each month after all my essential bills were paid, and also after my monthly savings standing order had gone out.
Okay.
Whatever cash was left over, I would physically draw out, divide it up into 4 envelopes, one for each week. And then I knew that was it. I could only spend what was in that envelope each week.
That's such a simple but kind of genius method.
Yeah.
It absolutely ensured you lived within your means without having to constantly guess how much you'd spend each week or month.
Yeah.
It's still possible to do that, although I get that spending habits have really shifted now as we move towards an almost cashless society.
True.
But the principle is still totally sound, right? Just maybe with a digital twist now, perhaps using budgeting apps or setting up separate digital envelopes or pots in your bank account.
It really made a huge difference for me back then. It just offered immense clarity and, honestly, peace of mind. And it leads us to something else important: reward time. You can, and probably should, give yourself the odd reward or a little treat now and again, especially for achieving financial milestones or hitting specific targets you set.
Yes, it's so crucial for motivation, isn't it? One surprising thing here is that it's not about being super strict with yourself all the time like a robot. It's about celebrating your progress. Those small wins are what keep you going on the journey towards those bigger financial goals.
For example, let's say you plan to have 100 pounds cash left over at the end of the month, but somehow you manage to actually have 200 pounds left over. Well, that can definitely be cause for a little treat, but quick tip here: maybe not a 100-pound treat.
All right.
Keep the reward proportional to your success, yeah. That extra 100 pounds isn't just free money for spending, it's also for building your future wealth and security.
And always remember, another really powerful way to ensure you are living within your means, maybe without having to make constant, painful cost savings, is to actively look for ways to increase your income.
Good point.
And we'll definitely be diving into various strategies for that. Everything from exploring side hustles to negotiating raises at work in a future deep dive. It's really about empowering yourself from both sides of the money equation, the income side and the outgo side.
So wrapping this up, your one concrete action step for today is this: cap spending at 70% of income.
Just imagine the freedom that brings, the peace of mind, the feeling of control, and the incredible opportunities that start to open up when you consistently have that surplus, that buffer.
And the secret to actually making that 70% target achievable is having that clear roadmap we mentioned. So next time, we're doing a deep dive into budgeting. We'll demystify how to create that roadmap for yourself and explore how it truly empowers you to take charge of your financial destiny.
And that is exactly what we are tackling next time. We're going even deeper into budgeting, specifically looking at how to manage and conquer debt. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that.
Definitely tune in for that one.
And please like this if helpful and drop your comments or thoughts below. We really do love hearing from you.
We really do. It's great to see how these ideas land and what you're all thinking about. See you next time.